How's it going? I hope everyone is doing well, day or night, whenever you tune in and see this. So, this is going to be a general reading for fire sign Aries for November 9th through the 23rd. And I know I'm a little bit late, so I will be doing the next series of readings. You'll be the second one. So, I do apologize for that. Yeah, guys, I recently moved to the East Coast. Side note, right? And yesterday I was driving and I hit a deer. So that's never happened to me before. I've never hit a squirrel or any type of animal. So it was pretty scary, but I'm okay. My car is a little messed up, but you know, the deer didn't go through the windshield, thank God, or anything like that. It looked pretty hurt, but it still got up and ran off. So, yeah, there's just been a lot going on. So, anyway, be safe out there, guys. That's all I would say as far as that. Again, I am sorry that this reading is late, but it's all divine timing. And of course, also what's going on as far as soon as I can get to posting your video. But back to you guys. You have an amazing reading here. I pulled all of your cards ahead of time, so we'll get into your reading here in just a moment. And if you are new, first of all, welcome. Even if you're not new, welcome back to my other viewers as well. But I do take one photo at the end of all of the cards in case you want to look at the cards more in detail or up close while you watch or listen. So if you want to do that, all you have to do is click in the description box below and follow the instructions there. So a couple more quick notes before we start here. I did also want to say that since this is a general reading for you, Aries, even if you're not an Aries rising or sun Aries or even moon Aries, this reading may still resonate for you as we all have all 12 zodiac signs throughout each of our individual birth charts. So that's why I always encourage everyone, if they haven't already, to find out your other placements just by Googling it and getting a free birth chart online. Because depending on what's going on in your life, you may resonate more with your sun sign, or your moon sign, or your rising sign. So if this isn't your reading, always feel free to check out your other placements as well. What else was I going to say? Oh, yes, this reading is timeless. So for some of you guys, it could resonate, 5 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year in the future or in the past. So it kind of just really depends, since again, this is a general reading, not an individual reading. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm just going to set my timer here. There we go. All right, so we're going to start here with the first main 6 cards in the center, and then work outwards into your tarot confirmation cards, and then also talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each deck to get even more information. And then at the very end, we have a couple more fun, lighter, like oracle cards that we'll get into. All right, so this first row here is energy starting around November 9th. It can be a little bit before, a little bit after, right? Going through last week and weekend, and then this second row here is the weekend that we're in now and this past week that we just had, right? Depending on, again, when you're watching the reading, because this could resonate, right? Even months, years, days, weeks, etc. in the past or in the future, okay? But we're going based off of what we have so far right now, since time is relative and fluid, all right? What is time exactly? So one other thing too is that if this isn't your energy here, Aries, it could be the energy of the person that you're dealing with, or multiple people, or your general environment situation. So always keep that in mind as well. So I'll go ahead and call out the cards here, and then we'll go in order. All right, so you have 5 of Staves, also known as 5 of Wands, in the right side up position, King of Sacred Circles in the reverse position, Prince of Cups, right side up, 8 of Sacred Circles, right side up, also known as 8 of Pentacles in reverse, the Strength card in the right side up position, and the 5 of Swords in reverse. So really good reading here, Aries. I really only see one blockage, which we will, of course, get into, but all of your other cards are really positive here. I also want to say that you have 5 major arcanas, okay? So anytime you have a lot of major arcanas in your reading, it does kind of reference to a lot of changes coming up or coming around this time, or even a little bit before, a little bit after. Okay, so some readings you don't have any major arcanas, some you only have one or two, but usually if it's five or six or even four, right, it's like a significant kind of message of change. Now, I did want to mention too the zodiac signs I see for some people that are into that. Okay, so I'll go ahead and call them out. So you have Aquarius, Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. You did show up in your reading, which is a really good sign. We'll talk about that later. And then you also have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. We'll get into. It seems like a couple of people in this set of readings had the Wheel of Fortune in some placement or other. So that could have something to do with the astrology or what's going on. But the Wheel of Fortune represents a couple different zodiac signs. So what is it? Taurus, Leo, Aquarius again, so it's Aquarius twice, and also Scorpio energy. So when I mention these zodiac signs, it could be for some of you guys that you're dealing with someone that has that sign placement as their main sign, or they have some of those placements predominantly in their chart or in your chart, or it means nothing at all to you, okay? But just wanted to point that out there before I forget. All right, let's get into your first card here, Aries. So you have the Five of Staves, also known as the Five of Wands, in the right side up position. This is a really beautiful card to have, especially in the first card in your reading. This is all about teamwork and strategy and, relying on your support system, whatever that may be for you, friends, family, healthcare worker, etc. Right? But it's really beautiful energy. It's being open to, looking at life not so seriously, right? And trying to see it from a different point of view or angle with the help of your support system. So in this card, the way it's depicted, you see these four Egyptian men here, right? And they're working on some kind of like architectural scroll, right? They're planning to build something perhaps, right? And so when you see this card in other decks, it looks like five guys fighting, but they're not fighting, they're playing and they're practicing, but there's usually a scroll on the ground as well. So that talks about the planning for the future, laying down the foundation seeds for something in the future here. But this is a really abundant energy. It's a nice, positive, full momentum energy to start your reading off here with. And who wouldn't want to take life not as seriously and to, have a great support system and to look at, whatever challenges you currently face in a different point of view and have people helping you. Okay, so that's really nice energy to start your reading off here with Aries. And this could be energy from the recent past that's still kind of lingering around. And, it's like, again, what is the recent past? Well, for some of you, it could be a couple of hours ago, a couple of minutes ago, days, weeks, months, years, etc. So take it how it resonates for you if it does, right? But moving forward, we're going to talk about the only blockage we have here in your reading, Aries. All right. And so here we have the King of Sacred Circles in the reverse position, also known as the King of Pentacles in the reverse position. And this is energy from possibly not last week, but the week before, right? It's not exact, right? But there is a feeling of possibly for some of you guys, a confidence thing or not feeling all the way in your power, something about your voice, about passing on some type of wisdom to other people. It's in the reverse position, right? And it could also have something to do with either you or the other person or general environment situation here, Aries, could have been rejecting some type of enlightenment, because you do see some lightning here in the background behind the Native American king, right? And so the lightning, when we see that in the tarot, or the way that I see it with this deck in particular, is normally it's striking the top of the tower, right? The crown chakra, the enlightenment, the spiritual downloads, the aha moments, revelations, right? So it could be there's a little bit of a blockage there for some people, but not everybody, right? Just take it as a general kind of stagnant energy or blockage here, okay, if it's not the previous things that I just mentioned. Now, before we go forward, we'll talk about kind of maybe why this card came out, because we'll get into what's on the top and the bottom of your other deck here in relation to that card. the King of Sacred Circles in reverse. So what we have is, again, this is past energy lingering around and why this card has maybe come out. So we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and we have the King of Cups in the right side up position. Another king, right? It's very interesting because when we talk about leveling up or being in a certain position where people look up to you, you have authority, you have power, right? But when this Wheel of Fortune is in the reverse position, and again, I said that could have been some astrology that was affecting a lot of people during this time period, because I saw it in a lot of other readings, okay? Could just be, but not exact, okay? But basically, this is talking about in the recent past here, Aries, you could have felt like it wasn't the right time for something, or your passion or creativity was blocked a little bit here. But despite that, either you or the other personal general environment situation was really trying to figure out, what are my priorities, my emotional priorities with this cup here on the right side up position? Like, what makes me happy, what makes me content, what makes me fulfilled? And at the same time that you were processing this in the recent past, or someone else was the general environment situation, you were also trying to get control of your emotions. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. So this is, when you put these two cards together with this card, it's interesting because it's almost like this lack of abundance or feeling support from others, even though your first card was all about support from your support system. Support. I keep saying support. But here it's like suddenly a switch or a blockage. And I really do feel like it has something to do with some type of enlightenment or somebody's voice about voicing like what they can pass down to others, what they're going to be known for, legacies, right? When you think of king, you think of legacies, because depending on the king's age, right? And they usually show them as an elderly man. They're not going to live forever. Nobody does. So what are they going to leave behind for the future generations? So there could be something there that's like weighing heavily on your mind, or the person you're dealing with mind, or people, or general environment situation, because of how we see this card here. But it doesn't last for long here, Aries, because then literally your third card is the Prince of Cups galloping forward here in the right side up position. So this is also, right, when we talk about your past King of Cups, and then you have the Prince, they're both trying to figure out what makes them happy, emotionally content, emotionally fulfilled. They're both, this is past energy with the King, and here you have the Prince, balancing their emotions, because there is water in the back of this card as well, right in the corner here. But it's for momentum, positive energy. But the great thing about the Prince versus the King sometimes is that they're open to learning new things because they haven't reached the highest level yet. Okay, so that's really beneficial for everyone, regardless of your position in a work situation, or your position in a romantic commitment, or with friends or family, or however you find yourself, right? There's always something new that you can learn. So also, another thing it could be for some of you guys, right, when we talk about your second card, to go back a little bit, the King of Sacred Circles in reverse, to go from the King of Sacred Circles in reverse to then the Prince of Cups in the right side up position. It's almost like if we were talking about legacies and what you passed down, maybe there was a stagnant energy there, and a refusal a little bit in the recent past. And then you switch it, or they switch it, and then now you're open more to learning new things. Okay, so that's kind of what I see there. Now going forward, another beautiful card, the Eight of Cups in the right side up position. This woman is learning how to make drums, this Native American woman, right? So she's learning a craft, a trade. She's slowly leveling up, not even slowly. She's already at 8 sacred circles, or 8 pentacles. Okay, so when we talk about 1 to 10 in the tarot, 8 is really close to 10. Okay, so it's again for momentum, positive energy, learning new things, being abundant, not only with money, but whatever you currently want to manifest in your life. So really beautiful card, really nice energy here, Aries. And again, another really nice card. Here's that Leo energy we talked about earlier too, with the Strength card in the right side up position. So this is about not only being, let's say, physically strong or capable, right? But it's a metaphor for the inner courage, the passion, the creativity, right? All of those things, and also vulnerability, right? Because you have to be vulnerable in a certain way, even if you're physically fighting with someone, you might have to expose a certain part of your body or organs that you're supposed to be, covering and blocking, right? Like when you're fighting. So when you see this Strength card in the right side up position, it's really nice energy to move forward again for you. So there's a lot of forward momentum, positive energy here. Like I said, you really only had that one blockage that we already talked about. Now, moving forward to your sixth card here, it's so nice to see. Here, Aries, you have the Five of Swords in the reverse position. This is how you want to see this card, right? It means you're letting go of any anxiety, worry, overthinking, mental confusion, being too much up in your head, right? But it's also about focusing more on the present moment, right? Because normally when this card is right side up, this Japanese person is carrying all these extra swords they don't need. It's a defensive energy, right? So here it's like, I don't need to always protect myself. I don't need to be overly defensive. Defensive in a smart way, right? But not overly defensive where you're blocking yourself too much or you're blocking your blessings. So here you're really getting into the present moment and you're not doing those things that would block you. And so again, it's just so beautiful, okay? Now, really quickly, before we get into your confirmation cards, along with this Five of Swords in the reverse position, it's so beautiful. And it shows that you've put a lot of work into doing that, into not blocking your blessings, right? And so when we talk about that card really quickly, we're also going to talk about what's in the top and the bottom of your deck here, the other deck. Six. So you have, and again, this is past energy. You have Four of Sacred Circles in the right side up position and Seven of Swords in the right side up position in relation to this card. So this is saying here in the recent past, Aries, there could have been some type of communication that either you gave to someone or someone gave to you, or you got a message from the universe, right? Your general signs or ancestors, however you want to call it, guardian angels, about maybe letting go of this stuff. So it almost feels like here, Aries, sorry, let me turn that down. It's just music for the dogs, but it has commercials. This talks about divinely being guided to let all of this stuff go, okay? So somebody came in here with that smoke in this card, right? And in the Native American peace pipe, and maybe whispered in your ear over and over again, your spirit guides, let this go. Let this defensive energy go. Don't fight with yourself. Don't listen to other people gossiping. Work on your own blessings and moving forward. And you finally, listen to this message or had it culminate or come together in a certain way for you to be able to do this. But I do feel like this was divinely guided in some way for you to let go of this. And you can see even just from these three cards, all the work that you've put into this, okay? And not only you, but your ancestors, your spiritual team. So really, really beautiful here, Aries. I'm so happy for you. I really hope that, this resonates. All right, now let's get into your tarot confirmation cards real quickly before you go. So I'll call them out in order, and then we'll start from the first one. So we have the Star in the right side up position, that Aquarius energy. We have the Temperance card in the right side up position, Sagittarius energy. And then we have the Emperor, that's you, Aries energy. All right. So this is, again, past energy. All right. And so this talks about inspiration for the future, having hope, being open to receive, right? If you can see, this woman has one hand over her heart and one hand out, open, ready to receive, her palms upwards, right? Like guide me, okay? And so this is also about balancing the emotions with the water in the card and this beautiful, peaceful energy. This is not the Temperance card, but you then have the Temperance card next, right? So right in this card, in the Star card, both feet are still on the land, but then later they balance. One's in the water and one's in the land. So again, you can see doubly in your reading this growth that's happening here for you, okay? But when this beautiful energy of the star, right, from the recent past comes in and is confirming the Five of Staves in the right side up position and the Eight of Sacred Circles in the right side up position. It's like this past inspiration, this past energy of being open and ready to receive and hope for the future, then pave the way for you or the other personal general environment situation to rely on your support system, to not take something so seriously, to look at it from different angles, to play, to practice, to plan for the future, lay the seeds and foundations, and then also be open to learning a new craft, a new skill, a new trade, learning something new within your industry or whatever you do for work or whatever it is, or learning a different way to approach relationship problems with friends, family, romantic, whatever it is. Okay, so this beautiful star Aquarius energy kind of paved the way for these things to happen here for you. Excuse me. Now going forward, and the first two confirmation cards are past energy usually. All right, so your second confirmation card, here's your Sagittarius energy here. It's the Temperance card. And I really love the way that this deck, the Llewellyn deck, I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice, is depicting this card, okay? Because normally you would have a woman 1 foot on land, 1 foot in the water, right? And then she's balancing and pouring water back and forth. It's like an alchemy kind of energy. But here, she's going to a well, right? But the well is under the water. She's already underwater. So this talks about going deep, deep into your emotions, right? Being so in touch with your emotions and not scared of going even deeper, okay? And this is past energy here. This is also abundant energy, a lot of growth, and it also speaks of loyalty, that there's people with the dog here, really small in the card. Hopefully you can see that. That if you did go deep into something in the recent past, that you had people that were loyal to you to be free and for it to be made possible for you to go to deep into something here. Now, when this Temperance card comes in and it's confirming, sorry, 1 second. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay, I'm good. Sorry, my allergies. When the Temperance card is coming in here, Aries, and it's confirming the King of Sacred Circles in reverse and that Strength card in the right side up position, right? This paved the way to go deep. And maybe when you go deep, right, you see things that are not the way that they need to be, right? If there's a blockage, we all have different challenges and blockages. You're only able to see that if you're open to go deep into your emotions. So then here came out your only blockage in the reading where you felt like maybe not as abundant as you normally do, or not all the way in your power, or there was something going on with your voice, or talk about legacies, what you leave behind, or even some type of small blockage with an enlightenment revelation thing that we talked about before. But also you go from here to here, right? So then it's like, oh my God, I am strong. I can do this. I've done this before. I can pull that strength out of myself that I didn't even know was there, because I'm able to go deep and work on these blockages. Okay, so just really, really nice, Aries, okay? Now going forward, your third confirmation card, right? This is more future energy. Here you go. Aries, you showed up in your own reading. This is always a good omen when this happens, and this hasn't happened in quite some time in any of the other signs' readings, right? So what does the Emperor talk about? It talks about passion, creativity. It talks about having a support system. People look up to you, right? You have a responsibility to your kingdom, right? A responsibility for others. But the only thing I would say about this card, because there's positive and negatives of every card and everything, right? But it could be just a little bit of like, I don't even know if lazy is the right word, but almost being stuck in their ways a little bit too much. He's kind of like slouching here in his body posture, right, on the throne. And he does have his shield and his scepter right by his side, right? So it's like he knows at this point, or you know at this point, because you let go of um, past possible defense mechanisms, right? With that Five of Swords in reverse, it is also confirming. And the Emperor is also confirming the Five of Cups and the right side up position and the Five of Swords. That was that defensive energy in the past. So it's like, oh, okay, I don't need it necessarily right at this moment, but it's over here if I need it, okay? But this is really beautiful, grounding energy, stable energy, and it paved the way, or it's going to pave the way, right? To move forward, have forward momentum, positive energy, know what makes you happy, what makes you fulfilled, emotional priorities, boundaries, all of those things. And then again, keep letting go of the overly defensive energy or worrying too much about the past and the future and focusing more on the present, okay? Because when you are a king, right, or even a queen, or just somebody of a position of authority, people come to you with, oh, these other people are attacking us, and oh, we don't have enough vegetables or whatever, right? You have to like delegate task, and you have to say, okay, what's the most important thing at this moment? And then of course you're going to have past beef, right? People are going to be like, oh, this person murdered my family in the past, or these people are bad. But it's like, no, what does it mean now for the future? Taking the past information all together, right? But having it come from a stable, grounded position of wisdom, and being like, okay, I've been granted this position to make these choices. So that's my TED talk there. But really beautiful reading here, Aries. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. So real quickly before you go, because I know we're almost out of time here, let's go over your oracle cards, okay? And you do have one extra one this time. All right. So your first oracle message here, Aries, it's really beautiful. It's the Lady of the Mirror, and it talks about reflection. Oh my God, I can't talk. Reflection. I said reflection. It's not a word. Reflection and non-judgment. And you see this kind of fairy-like woman, and she's looking into the lake at her own reflection, okay? And that's that non-judgment I was just talking about actually with the Emperor card, right? Being like, if somebody comes to you with past beefs of whatever is going on, that was just an example of being a king from, whatever. It's just a silly example, right? But it's like, okay, how can I reflect on things and bring my wisdom to what's going on and not judge it right away, okay? So that could be a particular message at this time for you, Aries. And then your second oracle card, you have two this time. Spirit wanted me to come out, is your love oracle message, whether you're watching for romantic reasons or platonic love or self-love, or all of the above, right? Your first love message is, it is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. And you see this woman riding on this horse, and there's a man down by the side, and all of these kind of fairy Cupid-like figures all around her, okay? So obviously this is pretty self-explanatory for romantic reasons, right? It's safe for you to love. You're bringing that high vibration of your heart chakra. Make sure your heart chakra is open. But the same thing you can be applied to friends and family. Like, it is safe for me, hopefully, to be open with my friends and family in certain vulnerable ways that I haven't maybe done in the past. It's also safe for you to love yourself, right? And to apply the highest vibrational love and open chakra first and foremost to yourself. All right. Now, your second love oracle message that really wanted to come out is children. I haven't seen this one in a while. Okay. And it says your love life is being affected by children. All right. So apply it to a romantic situation. You can also apply it to friends and family. There's children that are affecting your relationship with friends or family, or even self-love, right? But when we talk about children, right, what does that mean? Oh, am I going to have a baby? Well, for some of you, maybe, okay? But it's more about the metaphor of, what is the word? I just lost it. Your inner child come out, right? When we think of children, we think of innocence, okay? and that really creative energy. Again, non-judgmental, right? Going back to that card. When you're young, you don't have these preconceived notions already of certain things, so you're kind of like you're exploring it for the first time, okay? So I would say apply that to all areas of love: romantic, platonic, and self-love, okay? Experience it for the first time. Try to bring that innocence back to it and look to children, real children that are around to kind of help you with that. All right. And then your very last, yes, thank you, right on the bell. Your very last oracle message here, Aries, is the snow leopard. Look how cute that is. All right. And it says, take some time out of your usual life and spend it in solitude. Okay. So that could be a particular message for you at this time or even in the future, right? So it's always good to take a break, even if it's only 10 minutes a day to yourself, right? Depending on your life and your situation, to just reflect and kind of give yourself time to re-energize, right? And get in touch with yourself, okay? So this again could be a particular message at this time or even, going into the future. So if you want to look more into it, I always encourage everyone to check out the snow leopard animal symbolism. You can look up power animal leopard, snow leopard, and see what it says if you want to find more messages. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. And you can also look up like snow leopard magic. How can I incorporate the spirit of the snow leopard during this period of dramatic change for me? The 5 major arcanas, again, that you had in your reading, okay, or even in the future. All right. So that is your reading here, Aries. Thank you guys so much again for your patience and for your views, your likes, your subscriptions. I really appreciate it. Again, it is free to subscribe. It just notifies you when I put out a new reading. So if you haven't already done that or you're new to YouTube, all you have to do is click on the bell icon in the bottom right and make sure it's blue and it's active, and I'll just tell you when I put out new videos. So anyway, you guys take care and be safe out on the roads. Like I said in the beginning of the reading, if you live in deer country or where deer are at in the wintertime, be safe. All right. So I'll see you guys later, and hopefully tomorrow we'll start with Sagittarius, right? Since we're starting Sagittarius season officially tomorrow on the 21st. And then after Sagittarius, again, I will do Aries. So you'll go second in row since you had to wait. All right. So you guys take care again. I'll see you later. Bye.